national and international laws, and you play this game under certain rules, and posting of private information is one of them. I've never posted my private information in the game, and Carl Zahn and a couple of others have done some digging around to try and identify me. I'm well aware of that they use it in the game and that they use it in a defamatory way means that they are open to a case of defamation, and I am going to pursue it unless they do certain things, which I have laid out to Zach Lone Wolf. He contacted me earlier today, by the way, with a mail and said, why can't we be adults and just, talk about this? I apologise and, just meet our demands. And I said, no, you have to do certain things, and if you don't do them, then I am going to go further. That's all there is to it. You don't, and he's trying to mix up this thing because it obviously shows that he is scared about what is going to happen, and it is going to happen. My first step is to go to CCP, but I need to make sure I have a good solid case and that I can demonstrate harm and malicious intent, and these guys have very nicely cooperated and given us all the evidence we need about malicious intent. So I don't really have a problem with doing this. I think it will make the game safer for everybody. And I think that an example of such assholes, cads, and sociopaths needs to be made. And, it just makes the game better, and it means that CCP's rules are being backed up and that people will come to understand that metagaming is not the way to play a game. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you violate the laws of the world, then you are subject to the laws of the world. A game is a part of the real world. It's not something separate out there in the universe somewhere. It is a part of the real world.
Bravo.
It's not solely electrons.
Damn straight. And they can try and Hobson Jobson that around and philosophize about it as much as they fucking like. I know the law because I have to. It's my job to know about slander, libel, defamation. Because as a writer, when I have to write stories about someone and I want to go to a publisher and contract it, I have to warrant to that publisher that there are no legal issues attached to that manuscript, treatment, film script, whatever. And they don't know those laws, and they are going to be hoisted by them, and I'm going to track them down. And then the guy who originally did this, I am going to take him to task. He's part of a very wealthy family who are part of the sugar cartel of Australia, and he is a real nasty man. I have not come across anybody quite so nasty in my entire life. Ever. So, he wanted to play the game that way. He wanted to act like a simpleton. He wanted to be a nasty, malicious sociopath also. All right. He opened the door. He is the one who caused this. He betrayed a trust and a confidence outside of game under the pretense of friendship. And as a result, he has opened me to all kinds of malicious attacks, which I have received and countered. And he's the cause of it. And I will prove that he is the cause of it. And then he will be ruining the day he ever met me and offered friendship. Because I'm a good friend to anybody who's a good friend to me. And for him to do something like that in this game is disgusting. And it means that he opens up that as an example that makes it unsafe for every player in the game. And that means it kills the game. And I think that's really, really bad news. I love this game. I think it's a really cool game. So to do shit like that to people, nah. Wrong.
Okay, and I don't want to, distract your point there, but yeah, what you're saying is completely true. It is bullshit, but to give her a more accurate term of what metagaming is, it's where you take some external factor to the information you have available as you in the game. So in this case, what they were doing is they were going outside to try to find personal information on, and another example would be spying. Spying is you are specifically using another character under false pretenses to gain more information than what you would have if you played the game as intended. That is
very good definition. Very good definition.
And so, I find it completely lame.
Oh, you're right. It is lame. It's completely lame. And it is an admission of inability to play the game as the game is laid out and intended to be played. And CCP is quite particular about it. If you look at their rules or laws, they're really quite fair and open about it, and they state really, really well what you can and cannot do on their websites. in the EULA for the game and all that sort of stuff. And people agree to them. And you agree when you sign up. And if you don't know them, well, it's your own bloody fault. And if you can't play by them, it's your fault, not anybody else's. I'm all for
Wow.
playing an honest game. Always have been. I reckon that the best way to play a game and the way to get the most out of it is to play it honestly and within the rules and boundaries of that game, and to accept all the challenges that the game throws at you, because then a game will teach you stuff about yourself and others that you would otherwise never have the benefit of. Anyway, I've given Zach another opportunity to apologise, and when he has apologised, then I will take it the next step further, and I will now have what I need to go to CCP and say this guy is a malicious person, should be banned from the game, and I will track down the other guy who actually revealed my private details, and we'll take it from there.
You were cutting out there some, and
Okay. I'm giving Zach another opportunity to apologise and fix. And basically I've said to him, you need to make a public apology to me because you slandered me in public, my real identity. You need to make that public apology on the forums. And then you need to quit Herogen War and the Water War. You need to quit that corporation and alliance to show that you're not going to play with people who are going to play outside the game and you have no support for it, and that you actually have some integrity and some character. And thirdly, he needs to do one other thing, which I forget what it is, but something good. Something decent and fair and honest. And if he does that, I'll drop the lawsuit. But I will go after the other guy, the cause of it.
Wow. Memo to self. Don't get in on that topic.
Note to self, don't piss off in.
That too.
That's a better note. You know, I don't mind playing the game honestly and fairly, and I know it's a nasty, cutthroat, betraying type game, which is great. I don't mind that. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't play it. But there are lines and they have to be drawn.
Well, you know, when it comes down to on EVE Online, it doesn't matter who you are in real life. You're in deekay. I don't care what your name in real life is. You shouldn't even know it.
I'm sorry,
I mean,
what?
when it comes down to find out someone's real name, there's no need for it. That's retarded. I mean, you're in deekay. You're not your real. I don't know what your real name is. And I don't care what it is, and it shouldn't matter. So if that
Exactly.
try to find it,
Look,
is bad.
I wouldn't care what they say about NDK. It's a fictional character, but they used my real name. That's a different matter.
and they ascribed false data to that real name, which makes it libel.
Yeah, libel, defamation.
I know. I mean, when I have to refer to one of my friends when I'm talking to somebody, usually I change their name to something else so they can't find them.
Oh, when you want, you can find everyone. Every time you post in a forum or you are on a TeamSpeak server, you have to, you have to tell the admins your IP address.
Yes, I know that, but I mean, I try everything I can to keep that information from people. Just so I can keep them safe. What's with the sudden quiet?
What?
There are some people who are unable to differentiate between a gaming world where there are no legal consequences outside and the legal world where what you do in a game can affect what happens outside.
Yep.
If someone means he must put this war outside the game, he can do this, but he will lose when he do this with me.
Yep, exactly. He loses in the eyes of every player in the game who is decent, and while all the rest of them might laugh and everything else, doesn't change a damn thing about what it means as far as those players are concerned. And they made the decision to do that, and they were encouraged by Carl Zahn. And that's because Carl Zahn really is a sociopath by his own behaviour. And all he's done is egg other people on and tell them a bunch of lies and a bunch of stuff in order to get them to do this war. Well, he's perfectly entitled to do that as Carl Zahn in this game, in this context. But he really has lowered the tone of the game by doing that. And I think in the long run he will find that it's going to bite him in the ass. And I mean, he's going to end up in a pretty bannable situation if he continues like this. And because there are other people who are sociopaths in the game as well, you know, these guys tend to band together. And you can tell who they are by the kind of language and the kind of behaviour that they engage in.
When he continues, try to get him on the TeamSpeak, and then you have his IP address, and then you can do funny things.
Yep, exactly.
I don't know where it is. I can do
Sorry
that
if
for him.
anybody actually. Sorry if anybody actually hates this next reference I'm making, but Carl sounds a whole lot like Hitler.
Who sounds?
Who's Hitler?
Oh no,
Yes.
Hitler was actually quite charismatic.
Right. And Carl
Um,
seems to be that way when he's trying to get the Herogen Raiders to come after us and others.
Yeah, I don't know that you can make a reference like that. He certainly is pulling a lot of strings, and he's certainly put together a plan, and he's obviously a clever enough guy to do that. And, you know, what he's done is he's taken other people who have, at various times in the game, taken exception to me because I don't buy their bullshit. And I just simply say, that's bullshit and you're an idiot, and stop treating me like an idiot because I'm not one. And it's funny, but people take exception to that, even if what I'm saying is completely true. But I don't like mincing words. I'm really direct about how I approach people. And it can be offensive to some, especially those who are actually playing silly games that I blow into view and say, look, silly game, and you're doing it. Why are you doing it? And they don't like that. Well, they started playing the silly game. If I call it a silly game, and it is a silly game, what the hell? You know? I mean, really. If you're being an asshole, you're being an asshole. If you're being an asshole, you're being an asshole. You know, it's easy for anybody to see that you're being an asshole. And we were putting up with it with Carl Zahn every day. Godwin's Law? What's this? Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I suppose it's possible. But
At least it was on topic.
I wouldn't class him in that. I wouldn't put him in that class. Hitler was in a pretty particular sort of a class on his own. He was a failed artist or of some sort, I suppose. He wrote a book. A bunch of people believed it, who